Hey, what's going on, people? Coming in with another death battle reaction from yours truly, Mr. Brown Bali. Anyways, how do you call it? We have a very interesting death battle this time. How can I say it? Basically, if I remember correctly, it's Tom from Tom and Jerry versus the Coyote from Looney Tunes, the Roadrunner one. And here we are, death battle. 6.2 million subscribers. Be sure to go to their channel, subscribe to them, support them. This is their video. I'm just reacting. But with all that being said, let's get on with the show. Let's click on this one.
Wile Coyote, the fastest and furriestest of the Looney Tunes.
Tomcat, the powerhouse pussycat from Tom and Jerry.
The fans voted for it and we're here to deliver.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In tales told over shimmering campfire by the tribespeople of North America, there was no figure so cunning, so bold, as Coyote. To the Miwok, he was a Prometheus who stole fire from the heavens to give to humanity. To the Sewetmuk, he was a foolish trickster who could die and return to life.
And to the brothers Warner, he's just a poor dumb schmuck who can't catch a break.
To this day, the great Coyote stalks the American Southwest, hunting his indefatigable prey, the Roadrunner. And this
Full name, Wile Ethelbert Coyote. Species, carnivorous, vulgars, roadrunners, digestus. I don't think I'm gonna read out that whole shit. It's way too much. Sneakius, Critius, Ditus, Metus, Neverus, Lernus, Glatinus, Maxim. What is this? Filius, Flatius, Eternicus, Failures. Okay, this is hilarious.
The great Coyote stalks the American Southwest, hunting his indefatigable prey, the Roadrunner. And this modern Wile.
So his height is 5'8". That's pretty fucking tall. Birth date 1937. IQ 207, or so he says. Well, given the things that he's able to pull off, whatever. Eternally hungry, most loyal customer, and occasional employee of Acme. For sure. I do recall that. Shout out to all y'all guys who grew up watching Looney Tunes. Great stuff. Same thing with Tom and Jerry. Inspired by Mark Twain and pre-1949 Chase cartoons. Boom.
Coyote is driven by a ruthless entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, and it drove him straight off a cliff. He'll chase that bird-shaped happily ever after to his own inevitable undoing. Such is the lot of the common man.
You might not expect it from an anthropomorphic canine Job, but Wile was born the son of world-famous hunter Cage E. Coyote. His father raised him from infancy to hound his avian adversary and forbade him to speak until he tasted victory. On the face, an easy task. Coyotes are incredibly adaptable predators, capable of hunting in both rural and urban environments.
They're also speedy little demons. They sprint at up to 43 miles per hour, though that's cold comfort when that blue meeping bastard can make beams of light look stone still or outrun a car that was moving fast enough to travel through time.
Frankly, it's incredible that Wile manages to consistently keep up with his prey at all, but he does.
No, really, it's actually stated that only a, quote, tiny little extra burst of speed separates the Coyote and the Roadrunner. Heck, Bugs Bunny himself needed to take super speed supplements in order to move fast enough to outrun Wile.
But almost as fast isn't fast enough. Fortunately, Wile's got an endless assortment of gadgets, gizmos, and reams of blueprints to make up the difference.
He's got your classics like dynamite and
conventional weaponry, explosives, firearms, bow and arrow, cannons, harpoons, slingshot, crossbow, catapults, grappling hook, club, laser gun, katana, batarangs, heat-seeking missiles, chainsaw, flamethrower, net gun, blasting powder, pretty much anything, honestly. Tools, magic paint, rope, giant magnets, quick drying cement, glue, grease, tar, 10-pound volt electromagnet, magnifying lenses, suction cups, chemistry set, flypaper, computer, laser pen, trampoline, radar gun, curling supplies, infrared, night view, binoculars, etc. Special equipment, decoy, hydrated boulder, dehydrated boulders. This integrating pistol, invisibility paint, magnetism gun, Mecha Coyote, sleeping gas, lightning bolts, book of magic, giant spray, molecular transporter, wow, satellite laser, zero gravity spray, monsterizer, and demonsterizer, ice and fire rays, weather control kit, clone omatic, time gun, portal tech, shrink ray, 1000, lightsaber, okay, instant roadrunner and coyotes, roadblocks, universal remote, time travel remote, portable, phony, hunger gas, hypnotic clarinet, paid piper's flute, Pete Piper, is that the piper? Stray jacket, bazooka, instant girl. Okay, cool. Looney, DNA, dissolver, etc. Damn.
Bills and spring-loaded boxing gloves, along with heavier artillery like heat-seeking missiles, a 10 billion volt electromagnet, and a friggin' trebuchet, a Reddit favorite.
Many of which he invented himself and uses in excruciatingly detailed schemes that inevitably go awry.
Why not let a soulless corporation do the hard work for him?
Acme sells any product that you can imagine, and Wiley is their most devoted customer.
Could you imagine if something like Acme actually existed? Damn.
Contributing up to 99% of its multi-billion-dollar revenue.
Thanks for the inherited wealth, Pops. Oh, don't worry, I'm spending it
I
all
know.
in one place.
He's got an Acme Book of Magic, Acme Clone-O-Matic, Acme Death Ray, Acme City in a Box, Acme Universal Remote, which can pause, fast forward, and rewind a person through time.
Too bad half the stuff Wiley uses is intentionally sabotaged because Acme's board of directors is exclusively Roadrunners. My man cannot catch a break, but he sure can take some punishment.
No matter the severity of his failures, Wiley is still attuned and can bounce back from just about anything.
He's been sliced, stabbed, squashed, exploded.
Tune force, regeneration, shape-shifting, elasticity, immersion, non-physical interaction, fourth wall awareness, exception from physics, weather manipulation, transmutation, magic, levitation, size alteration, hypnotism, exorcism, teleportation, possession, intangibility, manifestation, time travel, duplication, sealing, erasure, and many more, for sure.
Melted, blasted into a constellation, and overall verbed for the last 87 years straight without ever actually dying. He once got fully disintegrated into ash and popped back up like it was nothing.
Similar to the immortal Coyote of Sewetmuk legend.
He's also shattered the fourth wall tons of times and even left the
I
comic
recall
page
that.
entirely to catch the Roadrunner. Ah, so close.
Believe it or not, there is actually a biological reason for these abilities. Looney DNA. Every toon's got it, not just the Looney ones. And it's what lets them survive fatal damage up to being fully erased off the page, essentially dictating their personal slice of reality to whatever is funny.
Like how gravity only affects the Coyote when he looks down.
Toons are immune to the laws of physics
For sure.
as we know them.
That's why Wiley developed a counter to this immortality, the Looney DNA Dissolver, which leaves Toons vulnerable to fatal wounds the same way we are.
Toon Force works like an actual power system, with more experienced Toons like Wiley who are more powerful than their younger counterparts.
And that means Wiley should be capable of replicating feats and abilities performed by any other Looney Tune, like traveling between different mediums or altering the plot of the cartoon he's in.
And my favorite was the time Plucky Duck used Marvin the Martian's matter transmogrifier to suck up the entire universe.
And then suck up the animator animating his universe.
And then suck
For
up
real.
the animator's universe for good measure.
Wiley's got a cushy 10-year job teaching that stuff. Impressive for an abject failure at
Feats blew up the sun, grew to the size of a planet, turned into a constellation twice, survived an impact the size of North America, withstood smashing a portion of the moon, matched Roadrunner's immeasurable speed, scored on the Monstars and Don Cheeto. Okay. I think the monsters are from the movie Space Jam, right? Don Cheeto, I'm not sure what the... Okay, whatever. Hunted, Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, Marvin the Martian, Energizer Bunny, Geico Gecko. Nice.
his life mission. He's helped stop a meteor from destroying Earth, beat the Monstars in basketball, and even... Whoa, snap! Caught the Roadrunner! Oh, wait, never mind. So damn close!
The year was 1939. War raged in Europe between the British Tommies and the German Jerrys. As the beleaguered English made their miraculous escape from the German encirclement off the coast of Dunkirk, one might have called the battle a game of cat and mouse.
Oh wow, is that actually where their names come from? I'm looking this up.
Background name Thomas D. Jasper Cat. Birth year 1940. Breed British Shorthair. Inspired by a certain rubber pirate. Portrayed by 11 voice actors. That I didn't know. There are satellites named after Tom and Jerry. Has a look-alike cousin who is scared of mice. Filled in for Alice in Wonderland, Sherlock Holmes, Wizard of Oz, and more, which is true.
But Tom Cat chases Jerry Mouse around the house. Brutal, bone-shaking, I felt that in my balls. Violence ensues, and Tom is reprimanded by Mammy Two Shoes.
Who is, let's say, very much from the 1940s.
And if you're like me, all you want...
I don't care. It was hilarious, okay? Damn. How do you call it? That was hilarious. Every time he would make too much of a ruckus, that woman would be like, Thomas! Thomas! It was hilarious.
Wanted to see was Tom wipe that smug smirk off that little rat's face. Despite my well-documented hatred of cats, even I've got to cringe at years of propaganda to convince us to side with the filthy, flea-ridden rodent over man's second best friend. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
Tom has collected a crazy assortment of weapons in his war against mouse kind. Sure, most of it is the stuff you can find.
Arsenal, weaponry, conventional weaponry, boomerang, boxing gloves, household objects, gardening equipment, construction site gear, mining tools, improvisational weaponry, parachutes, ice skates, wrecking ball, binoculars, baseball bat, butterfly net, cat toys, detour sign, fireworks sticks, frying pan, glass cutter, lead pipe, rebar, kitchen appliances, wheels, skates, etc. Wartime supply, bombs, tear gas, gas masks, swords, rapiers, pistols, shotguns, machine guns, landmines, dynamite sticks, gasoline barrels, cannons, miniature rockets, sonar, radar, a comical amount of other various firearms, explosives, etc. Special equipment, anti-dog spray, horseshoe magnet, vanishing cream, invisibility potions, invisibility ink, poisonous potions, rewind remote, magic lives potion, smart cap, ogre tooth, wishbone, spring tonic, extra potent vitamins, genie lamp, laser cannon, magic painting, lightning bug, stat boosting perks, and potions, fairy star, magic ring, etc.
Find around the average American household, like baseball bats, lead pipes, and...
You know, gotta say, both characters are like one-man armies.
And guns! Lots and lots of guns. But he's got wackier things like a magic wand, a robo-cat, vanishing cream, and a smart cap that gives him all the knowledge in the world.
I'm partial to the Sword of Light and Dark, which severs you from your own shadow, or the Rewind Remote, which can move your victim backwards through time.
And you can't forget the cat car and cat jet, spelled with K's of course, but just the cat part.
Tom's arsenal is heavily improvisational, which fits his quick thinking in fights over Thanksgiving turkey. Though he often loses his bouts with Jerry, it's not usually because he's dumb or incompetent. Rather, he's just genuinely outplayed.
And even in defeat, he's one tough son of a gun. He's been crushed, blown up, had every bone in his body broken, shattered, melted, and vaporized to dust, and survived.
Well, mostly. Tom actually has kicked the bucket multiple times, but little known cat fact, he has 9 lives, as established in the episode Heavenly Puss.
Let's go.
Extremely hardcore for
Toon Force, hammer space, elasticity, physics exception, shape-shifting, regeneration, cloning, teleportation, fourth wall awareness and manipulation, levitation and flight, elemental manipulation, extreme temperature resistance, hole movement, oh yeah, when they can move the holes around, imagination, actualization, non-corporal and interactivity, sentient art, soul scaring, reality warping, 9 lives, dimensional travel, and many more.
Toon, but there isn't much of a limit to what Tom can do. He can clone himself, levitate in the air, make his imagination real, and even break the fourth wall and enter the real world.
Yeah, if you only watch the classic cartoons from the 40s, you may be in for a shock. Tom and Jerry gets buck wild.
Could, in fact, say that
Feats, lifted the sun, obliterated a planet-busting asteroid, ruined several countries with his vehicles, dodged lightning and lasers, ran past 2 ecosystems, launched into space by an explosion, took Jerry's punishment for over 80 years, defeated Jerry, Butch, Droopy, and the Abyss. What's the Abyss?
Many rabbles were roused the times Tom destroyed a planet-busting asteroid, lifted up the sun, and was blown up into a constellation. And he was just fine. Just a bunch of stars now, but he's okay.
He taked an explosion that launched him through time to the stones.
Now is when we have to talk about Tom and Jerry Chase. Long ago, the warrior god, Lord of Sichuan, Erlong Shen, battled the tricksy and indomitable Mouse King atop Peach Mountain, leading the goddess Celeste to declare the two the strongest warriors in the realm. And they were, in fact, Tom and Jerry. They were even stronger than Devil Tom, who repelled corruption by the darkness. This mysterious, malevolent force threatened to consume the Tree of Life, whose branches encompass all of time and space. Banding together, these warriors used the star element to dispel the darkness and save the universe.
What the fuck?
While it may sound completely insane, it is. Chase is a Chinese mobile gacha game whose lore is not entirely in keeping with the spirit of the source material. However, it is officially licensed by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, which means
so
we
as
have
far
to
as I'm
include it in our
concerned,
research.
So
it's
that the
canon.
gods.
Okay, so my prediction is I gotta go with what's it called Jerry. Excuse me, Tom. My bad. I'm going with Tom the Cat. How do you call it? Not only am I a bigger fan of it, I like Looney Tunes. Don't get me wrong. I love Looney Tunes, but Looney Tunes was a bunch of cartoons mixed together, and they were all very fun. The best one being, of course, Bugs Bunny. How do you call it? But Tom and Jerry was its own thing. They were always the main characters. Looney Tunes would kind of shift from different story. I mean, of course, Bugs Bunny was always the best, but nonetheless, everyone got their own time in the stage per se. Tom and Jerry it was always them. It was always them against the world, get them against each other. So, not only do I like Tom more, I do believe that the feats he's pulled off are actually much more significant. But with that being said, let's see what happens. But that's what I'm going for. I'm Team Tom.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
The fuck? What is this, Roman? I'm sorry. Victimus. Classic. The Great Roadrunner. Meepus. Greater Roadrunner, Meepus. Coyote, Canis, Schmuckus. Ha! Nice one. Nice. You foolish furball. You cost me my dinner. For real.
Come on, you apes! You wanna live forever!
Dude, for real. Fat lady, nice one. That's appropriate. Of course. Nice. Get your ass back here, boy. Let's see that coming. DNA dissolver. That's hilarious. Take this. And this. And some of this. Yeah, how about this? See how you like it.
Wile E. Coyote, super genius.
Oh.
Oh, thank God, one of them actually died this time.
Aw, man, fuck no.
I mean, no.
Okay, fuck
Animal
no, I really
cruelty,
want-
no.
Considering
wanted
coyotes
Tomcat to
eat
win.
cats, I'm not surprised.
While both Cat and
All
Coyote
right,
were incredibly
might as well hear the
powerful,
reasons
they
why.
weren't literal gods who could snap their problems away. They had limitations and weaknesses that could be exploited,
Exactly.
especially by each other. Let's first talk their stats.
Both were strong enough to contend with universe-threatening phenomena, but comparing Wile to Plucky Duck, Looney Tunes can not only destroy their own universe, but their animators as well.
And while Tom could move faster than light, Wile could keep up with the Roadrunner, who could outspeed a car fast enough to travel through time. That's immeasurably fast, and much faster than Tom. Wile gets the edge in stats.
Ah, I forgot
Wile's
about that
arsenal
detail.
was a bit better too, believe it or not. Even eliminating the devices that have been shown to malfunction, he still countered everything Tom had.
The biggest being the Looney DNA dissolver, which could render Tom's cartoony healing factor moot and end the fight.
While Tom has never been shown to have Looney DNA specifically, the concept clearly has nothing to do with actual DNA molecules.
Looney Tunes have been erased completely and still returned, so it's clearly something more fundamental to their essence.
And since the dissolver works on any tunes, not just the Looney ones, it should apply to Tom. But considering how much of a screw-up Wile is, it wasn't a sure bet. Hell, it could have backfired, especially considering how much more competent Tom is.
When it came to intelligence, Wile's engineering and scheming genius were often defeated by his own ego and stubbornness. Tom, on the other hand, was consistently more flexible, pragmatic, and victorious in his fights. He definitely gets the edge there.
Oh, and Tom has one other big advantage. He doesn't have God nerfing him.
And that's the big question. Was Tom capable enough to benefit from Wile's narrative-enforced bad luck and see the
Yeah.
DNA dissolver backfire against him?
That bad luck is a core part of Wile's character as a cartoon. So let's call it his, toonliness.
To find the answer, we dug deep through the bowels of Looney Tunes lore and ended up in an unexpected place: Space Jam.
Where Wile yet again fails against the Roadrunner, but against the villains of the movie, the Monstars, he actually scores.
And scores again in the sequel, more than anyone else. But according to Chuck Jones's rules,
Oh, I
that
recall.
shouldn't happen, right?
Throughout his entire history, Wile's cosmically ordained failures only occur when he's specifically chasing the Roadrunner, or other tunes the plot bends around like bugs, because that's what Chuck Jones's rules were written for.
That would make sense. That whole thing, that the bad luck that he has would only apply to other official Looney Tunes. The monsters were not necessarily. They were more of a
Coyote,
They were more
and
basically, they were new
Roadrunner
characters.
And
They were
even
really
then,
part of the
looking closer,
lineup.
they've been
Maybe
broken
they
a
are
few
now,
times
but not
throughout
anymore.
decades, even during Chuck
And
Jones's
Tom and
day.
Jerry sure as
Without
hell
the
isn't part of
universe
that
nerfing
lineup.
him,
So
there's no reason
damn,
to
that
think
sucks.
Wile couldn't eventually land a hit with the Looney DNA dissolver.
Especially when the only reason it failed was because of the Roadrunner's intervention, a direct violation of Chuck Jones's limitations on the Coyote.
And especially when it's the only thing that either one had that could kill the other.
Despite lacking Wile's narrative impediments, and despite having a better track record overall, Tom ultimately had no surefire way to kill Wile, whereas Wile's superior strength, speed, and looting arsenal ensured his victory.
Wile gave one hell of a chase and left Tom Jones in for a rematch.
The winner is Wile Coyote.
Next time on Death Battle.
Subscribe and join
Whatever.
as a member to see more Death.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's alright. It's alright. Okay, so that was Death Battle. Wile the Coyote from Looney Tunes versus Tom the Cat from Tom and Jerry. And not the result I was hoping for, but nonetheless, it is what it is. How do you call it? I disagree with them. I really wanted Tom to win, but then again, I'm big enough to admit that it's just because I like him more as a character. They did do a decent job explaining as to why he would win, but whatever. Either way, if y'all disagree with the result, let me know in the comment section. I don't like the result, but if you're with me, by all means, let me know. If you're against me, let me know too. Either way, hey Carl, that was my reaction to it. And if you liked it, if you have it in you, please do me a favor, give me a like and subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Help out your bro, keep the community growing. And this is your boy Brown Baldy. Thank you so much for joining me, and you have a good rest of your day, and you all take care.